Hi, I'm Vanessa.
I'm JP.
And we're Purse Sisters.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's been a while.
It's been a couple of weeks, but you know, life is life, and it's summertime, so we took
a summer break.
We took a summer break. There you go. Everybody, when you go to TV, they all have summer hiatus, so we took a little hiatus.
And we missed you, so
we
we're back.
did miss you. We are excited to be back.
What are you wearing this week?
Okay, so we're gonna go right into what are we wearing this week. So if you couldn't tell, maybe this was a little bit of a hint, right?
We did have a beach day.
We did. We went to the beach, so got my Little Mermaid going on.
I love that he does that all the time.
But I got my villain hat on. That's why it's
oh,
like
is that a hint?
So it's a hint. I got my Ursula
Such a good bag.
Villains scene bag. It's so cool. You got Ursula on the front with her tentacles. You got her crystal ball down on the bottom. It's a rounded zipper instead of just a straight
I love
forward.
how Ariel is like in that shiny material.
Yep, it's just like a crystal ball. But the best part about this bag is the back of it. Well, it's not the best part, but you got Flotsam and Jetsam on the
and it looks so cute. Like he was walking on the beach, and you could see them like hanging out right above below his shoulders. It's such a cute bag.
Yeah. So.
And the texture is really nice.
It's definitely different than any of the other Loungeflies.
Love it.
It's a little bit more durable, I guess you can call it. So that's what I'm wearing. What are you wearing?
So I've been struggling with what to move in. I've been switching bags like every other day. Right now, I am doing Cash is here on his shoulder. I am doing my best in show. This is a very sought out bag. I got it. I've shown this before. You see Cash in there. I've shown this before because it's one of my grails, and I'm rocking it with my actual best in show wallet and my 2 Dandy Owl. Look how cool the glitter goes in. Okay.
So basically, I think today's going to be all about talking, right? We're going to be answering some of the fan questions. But before we do that, we're having a happy hour of our own, right?
Yeah, and in happy hours, we're going to talk about stuff.
We're going to talk about stuff, yeah. And we made these little cocktails, or Vanessa made these cocktails, these Blue Lagoon cocktails, in support, I guess you can call it, or in honor or in celebration of Harvey's new line that just came out, right?
The Mini Maryland.
The Mini Marylands.
And it was all cocktail themed, which is this one. Jonathan actually picked this one.
This one is the Blue Lagoon.
Delish.
It is absolutely delicious, yes.
And we even, we took the whole recipe and even did the right garnishes.
We did, yes, we did. And speaking of that release, I want to give a special shout out to my sister-in-law, Ashley.
First Harvey's!
She got her first Harvey's. I actually gave her some hints about the Harveys and how to sign up ahead of time, how to...
I think she'll learn later on in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a old school Harvey collector, it is a big deal to get a Harvey's bag in a release your first time, right? They're a privately owned company, so quantities are limited, and their fan base continues to grow.
But she got it first try out the gate.
She got the Manhattan.
The Manhattan. It's a beautiful
Congratulations!
bag. Yes,
Welcome to the Harvey's family. That will be one of many more.
Be very prepared.
So I did skip this release.
You did, yes.
Listen, not because it was a small bag, even though I like big bags. There's always a time and a place for a bag. Just because I have so many, whenever I feel like, okay, I'm not going to get a lot of use of it, I sit out so people like Ashley, newcomers, everybody gets a chance to own a piece of the pie. I will say, though, I'm going to go through this quick, that Blue Lagoon has been released in other styles. This is the mini. I haven't worn it yet. I'm inspired to wear it. And these are the ones I have. Remember, guys, the Peacock line also had that Blue Lagoon kind of color black. So all of you that I didn't go for it. Not that I would have gotten it, but I would have gotten it. That would have been one less bag out there for one of you. So I decided to skip it.
Yeah, well, hopefully there would have been one less bag.
And look at it this way. If it's meant to be, it'll come home from one of the boards or somewhere, right? But congratulations to everybody who got a mini, beautiful cocktail hour bag.
My favorite was the... I don't remember the name of it, but it was the flaming orange one.
The Merlot to me. Oh, I'm a purple girl.
So, today we are going to answer some fan questions. These are questions that we have gotten since the start of Purse Sisters, right? We've gotten them
We weren't ignoring you.
We weren't ignoring you, but we've gotten these questions either via email, via Instagram, YouTube, or even word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with our first question, and this question comes from Janet, and she asks, "Why did you start Purse Sisters?"
I think it was already happening. You know, this was happening. You guys just weren't invited. It was kind of like a private thing. Maybe we let our husbands a little bit because they saw the bags coming in. It was during COVID. I think it has a lot to do with our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how we became to relate and really talk more. Yeah, right?
Yeah, and I think it was all about fun. Like, there's a lot of different groups out there, and we love them all. It's just that...
Yeah, I think once we started joining the groups, we felt like you guys were talking about what we were talking about, so we were like, why can't we talk about it together?
Yeah.
And it was like, how do we hide the packages from our husbands, right? Or, you know, we would look at things like, how do you clean a bag? Some of the episodes we've done completely inspired by the boards and what we've seen you guys talk about or want to know more about.
So that's a great question, so thank you, Janet, for that.
Thank you, Janet. And Janet was the first question to come in months ago. We just didn't want to come online with one question.
Yeah.
So we were kind of collecting them.
Okay, so the next question that comes from Bobby. He asks, and this one's obviously for you, if you had to choose just one Harvey's, which would it be?
Oh, come on. That is not fair. That's like telling...
It's like Sophie's Choice.
That's like saying, okay, if you had to choose one child,
Yeah.
which one would it be, right? Which one's your favorite parent? I love them both. Okay, so I would say if I had to run out, I probably, Mom's sentimental value, I probably would grab my good versus evil Snow White Evil Queen. I'm a huge Evil Queen Snow White. It's either Evil Queen Snow White or Beauty and the Beast for me, right? So that, but I think my husband would be pissed if I didn't grab the Elvis bag, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'll try to grab one on each arm and run. Hard question.
Well, you can always use his arms as well.
If he's here.
Oh, that's true. Which actually leads into our next question, because Liz asks, if your house was burning to the ground, hopefully, knock on wood, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that sucks.
But if it does, and you could only save one bag, which would it be?
Oh, you answer.
Okay, so you guys all know that I have lots of bags, right? I have over 100 bags at this point. Many of which...
You might be over 150.
I'm nowhere near 150. Many of which were given to me as gifts. And I love them all, and I'm grateful for all the gifts that I get. So I obviously won't take any of those bags if my house is burning.
I'm going to stop buying you Grails.
Because I think I don't want to hurt or offend anybody. But out of the ones that I purchased, there's one coming pretty soon that would probably be it.
It's not here though.
It's not here yet. It'll be here probably by our next video.
It's always easy to pick the new one.
I think probably my first guest on that I got.
Oh, that makes sense. That's your favorite villain.
That's my favorite villain. Yeah, that's probably that was probably of all the bags that I purchased for myself, the one that I was most excited to get.
That's actually, I'm impressed with that choice. That's a good one.
Thank you. I'm pretty impressive.
Liz, good question.
Okay, next. Derek asks, where do you store your bags?
So I guess upstairs, I turn one of the bedrooms into my dressing room. So I have a big armoire, and that has like 3 shelves of Harvey, you know, like the way we line up the bags. And then the bottoms are like all my wallets, coin purses, and then in the back of the door I have grids that hold the click and goes, the click and carries. Now I've taken my office and completely started to gut it out. I know I've been talking about this project forever, but life keeps getting in the way. I have my lounge flies on the wall, which they look pretty
cool. Yeah.
And I'm gonna have my husband build me some shelves so I could put some of the Harveys there that right now I'm actually storing in totes because they don't fit anywhere else. It could be tough, right? Like, tell us how you're storing yours, because yours. Like,
well, I started like
I
you.
forgot about my Doonies too.
Yeah.
Those are on top.
I started on the wall as well, and then my husband started to get claustrophobic. It was coming in on him. So I got this pretty cool. I showed you guys the dust bags already, but I got this pretty cool unit from the Container Store.
Okay.
And it's got it's covered and it's zippered, and you store them in there. And then I have some on display on my bookshelf.
Do you rotate what you display?
I do rotate what I display because when I take them out to use them, some of those go onto the display after they're done, and it's like
That's
a cycle.
the thing. Like
It's the
storage.
circle of life.
Storage is a thing. Like you really have to. His launch flies are like my Dooney and Burke's that you like. Harvey's is great. Not only are they long lasting, I know fangirl again, but you could like it is seatbelt bag. So literally all of these, like I have maybe 8 of the minis, all the solids in one dust bag, and you see how, and nothing's gonna happen to them. They're seatbelts.
Yeah, those are also easier and more
Yes,
convenient.
right.
Like this is. I mean, if you put them side by side.
Yeah, no,
This one,
it's
like-
gonna take all that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you try to squish it, you're gonna mess up your bag.
Okay, next question. This one is for me, obviously. This is from my sister-in-law, actually. She asked me this. How did you get started with Loungeflies? Okay, so I used to work in a mall, and I walked into a box lunch store. I've never been in this store. I've never even heard of it when I started in this mall. I walked in, and there was a wall of Disney.
And he loves this.
And I'm a big Disney person, and I just saw these bags, and they were cosplays, and they were all over prints, and I was with I wasn't with, but the next time I went to the mall with one of my best friends, we walked in, and I was like, oh my god, that's great. And then she was the one that got me my first Loungefly for my birthday a couple of years ago. So that's how I got started.
Oh my gosh, think about that journey, right?
From then till now, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next question comes from Kayla, sorry. It
KK!
is there ever a point where enough is enough?
You know, I would say I think enough is enough if your bills are late because you're buying bags, right? Or if you can't store them anymore. If now it's just a hoarder situation.
Or if you can't feed yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, like it. But if you...
Or if your spouse comes to you and says...
Yeah, don't get
enough is
divorced
enough.
over your bag.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say, but if you have the space, right? I know a lot of Purse Sisters rotate. So if you have the space or sell, if you have the space, right, and the money,
Listen, there's a lot more.
These are delicious,
These
by the
are
way.
very good. There's a lot more addictions out there that are so much worse than this. In the grand scheme of things, collecting bags, not so bad. If you can afford it, you can store it, and you won't get into fight about it.
And you can always sell, like, I don't, so I'm not being a hypocrite. I just have a hard time parting with things. The other day, my husband said I should downsize, and you know, I've gotten so many nice purses from other Purse Sisters, and I'm like, how could you let go of that? They're like, it wasn't getting any love, right? So, you know, you can sell, you can rotate. I am going to relook at it at some point. Because you want to keep adding, right? You want to keep it fresh. It's just that when you sell that bag, you're going to miss it.
You never know when there's going to be that one day or one occasion that you want that bag. So, last but not least, speaking of resellers, this is probably going to be our last question for today. Adam asks, is it safe to buy from resellers?
So, depend, like, okay, resellers like what? Like Mercari and
Yeah,
eBay?
like, yeah. I mean, I've only bought a few from there.
We try not to do
We try not to,
because
mainly because of the money, the price hike on them. But I did get, I got the bag one time, but it was a cosplay, and it was like folded over a little bit because they didn't really care about the shipping. But other than that, I mean,
I had a bad experience in Posh. I ordered a bag. Shame on me, I should have looked. And I got like a phone case. I got my money back. But outside of that, no, I haven't really had bad experiences.
if you are going to purchase, though, we definitely recommend purchasing from one of the like Facebook
Sales
groups
group.
or something.
Our sister group, Park Hopper Helping Hands or
Yeah.
Harvey's Hangout.
Yeah.
I've never had a bad experience. And you have your Purse Sisters that'll tell you this person's good, or I haven't heard of it. I've never had a bad experience on a group, and I've always gotten great prices for Purse Sisters, and maybe they know that I'm not going to resell them. But yeah.
If you are on any of these groups, though, I do recommend, if you do get scammed for whatever reason.
Call the administrator like this.
Yes, this way.
Also, when you're going to like Mercari or when you're going to Posh, if it's a new profile and the bag, you've seen it everywhere for $300, $400, and they have it for $150, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
And if they have the exact same photos.
Oh,
in
yeah.
multiple
You
groups.
can ask. That's one thing that Anita taught me. Ask them for them to put, like, if you don't know them, for them to put, like, their name. Their
name and
profile name right next to
And
the
the date that they're.
right, and send it to you. You could take, be cautious, right? Nobody wants to. Don't FF or PayPal or friends and family or Venmo unless you're sure of the person, right? Because at that point you have no insurance.
Yep. So that's all the questions and all the time that we have for today. We do want to thank you guys. We were
Yes,
happy.
we missed you.
We did miss you. We're happy to be back. We want to remind everybody that go to Facebook. Our group on Facebook is maybe the drink is getting to my head.
Lightweight.
It is Per Sisters One on Facebook. Instagram is Per Sisters One. TikTok is Per Sisters One. Our Gmail is persisters1@gmail.com. And on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe down below. Remember, ask any questions. We are here to answer them for you and to have a good time.
So we'll tune off by saying cheers to all our Per Sisters. I'm Vanessa.
I'm JP.
And we're Per Sisters. Cheers! Woo!